3 is the future.
Channel 3 podcast where we take a member, or in this case, multiple members of the Channel 3 community, discuss 3 games of their choosing, go through some honorable mentions and some other odds and ends for a nice little video game discussion. I'm Dan. With me as always, Ray.
What is going on, people? We're making history. I think we're making history on tonight's episode. We have the first duo that we are interviewing here. It's father-son duo. It is Legodad and Skyshark. How are you two doing tonight?
Good.
We're excited to have you here. We got a whole bunch of different games to talk about. Legodad's coming back after quite some time. It's been a while since Lego's been on, but now Skyshark's here. And since Skyshark's here, we're going to start with him. First game on the list, It Takes Two. So this is the father-son co-op. You guys just finished up. I saw the post. You guys finished it up. Is this Skyshark? Is this your first co-op game?
I think I would say one of them. And
so how did you and Dad decide that this was the game you guys were going to play together?
We were just looking for something to play, and then I heard that it was a really good game, so I was like, oh, we should just play this.
So you heard about this game?
Yeah.
And so you start the game, and you got 2 characters. Who uses which character?
I was me, and he was Cody.
And who made that decision?
I did.
It's cool. So you're starting and you're playing this game, and just tell me when you started playing the game. How were you enjoying it? Did you like the puzzles? Was it new to you? Just tell me what do you think about the game?
I thought it was like a lot of fun. And once we hit the tree, I was like, oh yeah, this is so much better.
Who is in charge when you guys are playing this game? In deciding how are we gonna do this puzzle? Who's gonna ride the rail first and push the animal face buttons down to not crash into stuff? Who's making these decisions?
I think me. Most of the time it's me.
You're in charge. You're making all the serious decisions.
Yeah. Mostly.
Yeah. There was multiple times where he had to go, no, Dad, it's over here. Come over here. Do this. So there was a lot of coaching on his part to me. So it made my experience a lot better.
Did you feel? Was there any trouble with the platforming? I'm playing this game still. It's been a while with my wife, and I feel like it's a pretty tough game. This is someone, she doesn't play a whole lot of games, but even for me, I feel like the platforming is not like simple and straightforward. It takes some practice to do, right?
Yeah. Some of them are just so tough that it takes like 5 minutes for us to figure out, but eventually we figure it out.
Skyshark,
Really?
I'm gonna jump in and give you a piece of advice here, because I don't think Ray really thought ahead on this one. Like, this is a tough enough game for somebody who's in a healthy marriage with 2 gamers. Ray's going in and playing this with a wife who doesn't game. That is a gutsy call. Combining,
We're making it. We are getting through it, little by little. We get through. She actually, I give her credit. She doesn't take enough credit. She actually can play games decently enough, and she's very happy following along. Right? So hey, go jump here. She's very good at following video game instructions. I will say that.
I had a number of situations where they probably could fall under the season fail clips.
Absolutely.
We'd be doing a level or a puzzle, and he's already done with it, and I'm trying to, it might be where a blow hose is shooting you up and you have to aim it, and I just keep missing the little tunnels that you have to jump into and land into, and I just keep getting annihilated, and he's already done and waiting for me, and I'm still trying to figure it all out. So yeah, he did way better than I did.
Did you guys pause and play those the mini games throughout the one where you actually go up against each other?
Sometimes. There was only a couple that I won at.
Yeah, I think we did a good handful of them. I think the last few he ended up winning, but I won most of them. But yeah, those
Yeah,
little mini games are pretty fun.
The first one we did, I think, is probably the first one of the game. But we did the Whack-A-Cody one.
The Whack-A-Cody. Do you remember that one, Ray? Did you guys get to there?
I think we've gotten to it. If that's an early one, then we've gotten to it.
Yeah, so you go in and Cody goes underneath this box and it's got these little flaps.
Yes.
There's like 4 or 5 of them, and then May is on the top with a hammer, and it's a whack-a-mole game, and you have to pop up, and the longer you stay up without getting hit is when you get points, and you try to get the quickest points.
Right.
So I was just going back and forth, and we were having a good laugh out of it. It was pretty silly.
They're very funny because they're completely meaningless and have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
But you kind of get to just pause and enjoy something before you head off to that next section.
Right.
So you guys played this game. Obviously, it seems like it was a very positive experience. Skyshark, how was this playing this game with your dad and getting to hang out and work together? How was that whole thing for you?
It was a lot of fun. I think it was like it helped me learn how to like do more co-op games.
And legodad, how was it for you?
Yeah, it was really a test for my patience. There was quite a few times where I'm like trying to get him to go one way and he's correcting me to go the other, and trying to get our timing out. And also, I mean, there's points in the game where I think there was a level where May has a hammer and Cody has nails, and you have to throw it across and stick them into the wall, and then she hooks onto the hammer and swings across, and we would have fun with that, and we would, I'd pull the nails out as he's trying to jump with May. So we'd do that, but then after a few times of one of us messing with the other one, it kind of started getting a little annoying, so we'd lose our patience a little bit with each other. But we'd have to move on, and mostly it was really fun just to kind of work together and figure these puzzles out.
Do you think you will end up playing more of these split screen style games? I mean, I've just been getting videos. There's a whole bunch of them out there. I didn't even realize it, but I've been getting more and more videos of them. Do you think this is something you guys will grab another one and do again?
I don't know.
I
What do you
hope
think,
so.
Skyshark? Yeah?
I kind of want to, but I'm trying to think of some right now.
Yeah, none really come to mind. I don't do a lot of co-op games. I'm thinking back to when Super Mario Brothers on the Wii U came out, and it's not necessarily a co-op. I don't. With the 2-player, if the second player isn't caught up far enough, it'll kill you off, and that kind of pushed me away from those types of games. But I liked this one even though it's a split screen. Trying to remember exactly which screen you're supposed to be looking at based on where your character's at. I really liked this format, so I would definitely want to explore some other options.
Yeah, I'm trying to see because I just got a video. It was like 2. There's one coming out from the makers of Overcooked. I know that, and it's going to be kind of like a split screen adventure. There's Split Fiction, which is by the same studio of It Takes Two. That comes out this year. It's gonna be the same exact people making the game. So those are 2. And there's a third one too, and I'm forgetting the name right now. But I didn't know either about these split screen games until I started playing this one. I made a little list, and they're just very cool because you get to play together. And you don't have to you don't force someone to go with you. You have to work together to move on. So there's something very cool about this style of game that I'm gonna enjoy playing more when my son gets older too.
All right, so first game up, Lego Dad's list, Horizon Zero Dawn. I will just say for everybody here, not to spoil the rest of your list, this is a very PlayStation heavy 3 that you've picked for yourself here. So we're going to be in that territory. Was this one you played on the 4, or was this one you played on the 5? Like, where did this?
On the 5. Yeah, I got both of them. They were both the 4 version, but I got them on the 5. And then I actually, so the first time I tried through Zero Dawn, I did not have a successful run. I wasn't really paying attention to the quests and how they wanted you to follow the path of the game. So I had posted a while back to the crew for some helpful tips, and it wasn't really. I dug myself into a big enough hole with not following the rules of the game. And so I just threw in the towel and started over and started fresh, which gave me a completely different experience with the game. So following those paths of the quest that they want you to do gives you the tools and the resources and the weapons you need to be able to survive as you go on. So my first run, no good. Second run, much better experience. Getting everything I needed to be able to successfully move on from each area. There was one room in particular that I remember getting stuck on, and it was kind of at the top right of the map. There was like this big mountain you have to climb up, and you go into this big facility, and then you ride these cables or ropes all the way down, and you go a few levels down in, and then there's this room that you open up into, and there's a huge ledge or drop off that you have to go into the room to be able to fight off the big beasts. And I couldn't get down there without a rope caster in order to lower me down, and so I just was failing every single time. So again, my second run with it, getting the tools and the resources I need, was able to get me past where I needed to go.
Okay. On now. So, all right, let's do this. So it's funny. I had a different restart to the game. I had like started the game, walked away from it, or like got distracted by life, and had to restart it because I came back and I have no idea what I was doing and how to play the game. You somehow, like, you managed to skip the tutorial section of the game and not get all the equipment and go into, like, from what you're describing, I'm pretty sure you went to like the midpoint of the game. Like, did you go into that conference center and stuff where you find out about like Aloy's background and all that? Was that where you were?
Yeah. So it was interesting. Again, kind of on my second one, it was a different experience altogether, and kind of slowing down and watching the story as it unfolds and kind of making it an interactive movie changed my experience with it. And so, I remember that scene where you're up at the old facility where the Zero Dawn group of people, and she's got the holograms of them, and she's watching the old videos and kind of telling the story. I think that was the first part of the game that I go, oh wait, there's more to this than I'm allowing them to show me. And so not trying to skip through some of those cutscenes and really paying attention to what they're trying to share with me. So that was a big part. That was probably the turning point in that game for me.
Yeah, you think about open world games, and you don't always, you think of Breath of the Wild, which does not have a lot of narrative to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, there's a lot of it that you get that same Breath of the Wild vibe of there's just this world and ecosystem operating on its own. But like, no, they put a well-acted, well-written narrative into this thing. And that was the other thing got distracted by early was side quests that just like, you wander up to somebody in the woods, you're like, hey, this creature stole my spear. I'm like, I guess I'm going after the creature now. And like, no, you don't have to do every single one of them. And that was where I lost the story early because of just side quests. It's like, I have no idea which of these quests is the thing I'm supposed to do because I don't remember who the characters are. Because it gives you like most open world games, it gives you that like list and quest menu and map and everything. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I need to just pull the plug early and restart it before it gets worse.
Now the second one, I don't want to jump too far ahead. The second one was a different experience in the fast travel option.
Oh, hold tight. We're gonna don't jump too far ahead. Okay. No, we're gonna come back to that. That's the spoiler. That is its own. That's its second game for you. So no, I wanna hit on this one then. So when you came back in, you started following the narrative. You stuck pretty closely to it. Were you able to? Because you also, like, I feel like if you don't upgrade the weapon, you didn't have to upgrade the weapons. I guess my son played. He did not do a lot of the upgrades. He didn't do a lot of the side quests. He stuck to the main story and mostly played through it. Did you do a lot of, like, RPG type grinding with it? Or were you sticking with the story now that you're like, oh, there's a story, let me follow it?
I stuck with more of the story. I didn't really do any of the side quests, that sort of thing. I kind of upgraded what I felt was necessary to do what I needed to do next, and I think it served me fairly well.
Yeah, I know at one point too, you can also wander into the wrong areas where you're like, oh, there are massively overpowered enemies, and I am not supposed to be in this plane at this point. There's the giant salamanders, and
right.
They all have like you equate the equivalent. Yeah, you got the alligators, crocodiles, whatever they call the snap jaws or maws or whatever they call them. Like, no, these are going to kill you just before you can do
Right.
anything. And you can get away very quickly here.
And it's an interesting style to the game too, because it feels old, but it's in the future. You know, like the outfits that people wear seem like it's just from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but it's 1,000 or so years in the future from now. So it was just a aesthetically cool looking game. I mean, you've got dinosaurs, but they're robots, and you're using a bow and arrow that you're crafting out of sticks and stones, and it's futuristic, but it's from the past. I don't know. It's a cool vibe. I liked everything about that game.
Even when you look at like the character design and displays and the armor and everything, it's like you said, you see the primeval animal skins people are wearing, and then like mixed in with plastic and metal shells from
Right.
from the creatures that they've destroyed as well. So they did a really good like a production design on this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's funny to anybody who has played these games that they managed to release Horizon every time some other epic totemic Game of the Year caliber release comes out, or God of War is released, and like just no, people end up losing this one in the shuffle, and I can't figure out how do we get more people to come into this one and come play with us.
Yeah, I dig it. It's a great game.
So story wise, story wise, how did you feel as you were proceeding through the story? You kind of started to pay attention to it, and you realize this isn't just Breath of the Wild, and I'm trying to get my way to Ganon, and you're really getting to embrace some good rating.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it feels like it's a movie that you're participating in, and I think that they had announced that they're going to do a live action version of this of some sort. I don't know if it's a TV show or a movie, which I think can be super fantastic. I liked the way that they introduced kind of I don't know, just all the different types of characters, even though they're not prevalent to the story all the time. And you've got the backstory of the Zero Dawn group, and you've got Aloy, and she's kind of got her main mission of figuring out who her mother is, and then the reveal of who that is towards the end. I don't want to say anything if I shouldn't, but I don't know. I just thought that the way that they introduced the story and kind of revealed what they needed to reveal when they needed to reveal it was really perfect.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. There was supposed to be a Netflix series, but the guy who did the Umbrella Academy was apparently a terrible person, so they yanked that. And Sony just announced they just announced like a bunch of stuff a few weeks ago. One of the things was they've got a movie in the works again for this. So I'm hopeful that this will be the case. But I mean, it's so good. Yeah. Tencent just went and copied their homework worse than Pal World did, and they're putting out a game that if you just looked at images from, you're like, oh look, there's a third Horizon game. No, there's not. It's just some company who decided we're just going to copy your homework and make it happen. So
yeah, there you go.
Oh, were you jumping in there, Ray?
Nope. Oh, I have this game. It's downloaded. This is actually when I have it loaded on my computer, and I keep telling myself I refuse. I won't buy God of War until I finally sit and play this one. Even if God of War goes 90% off next year during the Steam sale, I keep telling myself I have it purchased. I think I bought it 2 years ago. One day I'm going to turn it on.
That's the nice part about your 3. Ray gets a shot at all of them now that they're on PC.
There you go.
It's sitting there. All right, skyshark. We got Super Mario 3D Land. Is this on the 3DS?
Yes.
All right, tell me about playing this game on the 3DS.
It is a lot of fun. It's just Mario 3D World, but older. Because I believe it came out like 2009 or something.
Yeah, this is first. Super Mario World 3D World exists because of this game for sure.
legodad, I'm going to tell you right now, you better tell him to watch his tone. When he's talking about 2009 being that far ago. I don't appreciate his tone.
First of all, he's not wrong in saying this is 3D World before. Like, I think more people recognize 3D World at this point than 3D Land. So he's not wrong. So tell me, so you played this one? You played this on the 3DS. You were one of the original players. What? So which character did you prefer using
In 3D World,
in 3D Land? Yeah.
I thought you could only play as Mario.
Doesn't it?
So
Can't you play as
here's-
Luigi as well? Am I wrong?
Here's where we get to give you a little behind the scenes. So I had to warn Ray at the last second in the notes that this was not actually 3D World, and this is 3D Land. So yeah, you only get Mario in this one.
No, hold on.
Okay.
No. Hold on. No,
I'm with skyshark. I've played this one. You only get Mario.
But you can play as Luigi in World 8. No. To unlock the special
I'm not
world.
sure. I'm only on World 2.
I did not 100% this one, so I can't tell you.
I'm reading stuff here.
I am 100%ing it.
You're going to take a long. Good. All right, let's talk about that. No, there's definitely. I'm telling you, I'm reading this, and because I'm saying every Mario game has a secret world, and so I'm looking to see where's the secret world in this one. And spoilers from the game that came out in 2011, it says you have to win as Luigi in World 8. So at some point, Luigi's going to show up.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's in another, not the first world, like Rosalina in 3D World.
Right.
Because I was watching the playthrough and I saw that Rosalina came up on one of the special worlds.
Dan, look it up. Unless I'm crazy.
No, I'm with you. No, you're good now, Ray. I believe you. You're going into like secret stuff. I'm out. I got nothing on the secret stuff. I played about half of this world on on this one on the 2DS. So I only know of Mario playthroughs.
Oh, you know what?
And so it's a very different vibe from 3D World 2. That it's like it's got more Mario 64 following you with the camera than it does that like Mario 3D World has that overhead view that kind of you get to see everybody.
Oh yeah,
it's a different.
Yeah, it does look that way.
So okay, so you just started this game.
Yeah.
Or kind of just. And let me start here. You have a 3DS. You're better than me.
I do.
I don't have a 3DS. So okay, so tell me, you beat in one world so far. You're in World 2, and you're 100%ing it. Do you feel like that's making the game take a lot longer, or making it a lot harder?
I think it's pretty easy because I have IGN.
Oh, so are you kind of like following? Oh, so you're following the guide to find like the star coins?
Yeah, there was one level. I can't remember if I beat it yet. It is really tough. It's like you have to like jump to switch platforms, and it makes it twice as harder with the Goombas just launching out at you.
Have you found because you're following the guide so you can find the star coins and know where they are. Have you had to repeat any levels because you missed the top of the flagpole?
I didn't know that was relevant. I'll have to replay through that.
You need to go back and hit the top of all the flagpoles.
I thought that was only relevant in 3D World.
Let me tell you, I don't know. I'm so confused at this point. I'm trying to keep up. I'm pretty sure maybe it's not the whole game, but for this secret last world, it says you have to hit the top of the flagpoles in the last world. And maybe this is lying to me. I don't know.
He's following IGN along the way, though.
You know what?
Thing, like
it's not telling me to hit the top.
So I guess it's not.
It's funny.
But
3D World you have to, but it's funny. Like just hearing him say this so casually, even people like from an older generation, there'd be like a sheepishness to admitting that. Of like following along, it's funny to hear. Just like I'm following the guy.
It's very normal.
Playing it, but he's probably just nothing. No, just admit it. Go with it. Yeah.
By the way, it's also very easily accessible too. I don't have to hope it shows up in next month's magazine or anything.
That's right.
I gotta have my Game Power and my Game Informer. I was subscribed to both. I had them both.
How do you get the 3DS is the question. Was that Dad's that you just got a hold of, or did you get one yourself?
Well, he actually sold a bunch. The ones that he used to have. I had a babysitter, and she had like two in her house. So for my birthday, she just gave me one.
Well, there you go.
Is it one of the particular designs, or just like you still have like the fold over and everything?
Yeah, it's just
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a clear black color to it.
it's black and gray.
Black and gray, yeah.
Is this the only game you have for the 3DS?
No, I have multiple. I have the Incredible Hulk. I I have I have Big Brain Academy that it came with it. I also have Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros.
Let me tell you, this stuff is it's so foreign to me because I completely missed out on the Wii U and the 3DS. I just I didn't know games existed during that time, essentially. So all of this just is so new, and I don't know any of these. Every time there's a remake on the Switch, to me, I think, oh wow, what a cool brand new game, and then someone tells me, yeah, they made that game 10 years ago. You just didn't know about it.
Well,
That's where I am with it.
I'll warn you both now that if you play Smash Brothers on the 3DS, you'll feel like Ray. You're feeling like you're playing in molasses.
Oh, that I played Smash Bros on the 3DS once, and I felt so sad playing it because I had played on the Wii. Before that, I played on the Wii, and Smash Brothers on the Wii is the happiest game in the world. It's just made to make you feel happy and have a fun time. And Smash Bros on the 3DS is made to make you feel sad at all times.
It felt like multiverses to me. What are you talking
That's one way to think about it. It's a very dark game for no reason. It's just it makes me upset just thinking about it.
Skyshark, you show him how to use the brightness settings on it. It sounds like he's got a problem with that. That's
It's an odd game.
Also have Smash Bros on the 3DS.
I'm sorry.
nice.
I completely forgot about it.
It's okay. We all
Don't be
did.
sorry. Don't apologize to him.
We all forgot that game was there.
That's the one that stays in my 3DS or 2DS. Are you kidding me?
You don't turn that on.
Yes, I do.
Shout out to Multiverses, one of the biggest fails. One of the biggest fails of the last 10 years. Say that.
I'm not doing this in their episode. I could do 10 minutes on it if you want, but I'm not.
I thought Multiverses is fun.
It was.
I mean,
it was fun.
Every here and there, when I'm bored, I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I have Multiverses."
I hear you. I listen. I wanted it. I wanted it to do well. I was all in. I think I played 100 hours on the beta when we were testing everything. I was all in on this game. I am hurt. I am hurt that this is over.
At least you didn't drop the hundo on it like some people did.
I did not.
They're all losing their minds right now.
Yeah, I feel like those people.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're jump back to legodad. We're going back.
He's gonna have us when we start talking about Smash Bros. On the 3DS. Now I'm just upset about everything.
Yeah, no, I kick
I blame Dan. I blame Dan.
legodad. We're not doing that though. We're going to talk about Horizon Forbidden West. I mentioned we're going to hold off. We didn't have to wait long. So this was you dove. You went right from Zero Dawn into Forbidden West, right?
Yeah, I played them back to back. I think, again, my experience the second time with Zero Dawn changed my opinion about the series, and I loved Zero Dawn, everything that it had to offer. The visuals, I thought it was just a beautiful, beautiful game. And so I wanted to continue on the journey. I wanted to see where it goes next, which it picks up 6 months after Zero Dawn. So it jumps right back in, and everything feels familiar, but yet it's new and it's different. The map is bigger. You're heading out west with Aloy, and you're going on a new journey, but to carry on with the story and the aftermath of everything that happened with Zero Dawn. One of the fun things I liked about it is how you can move within about 40 minutes of on foot travel from the Colorado Rockies to the Bay of San Francisco. So I think that would be great if you could do that in real life, but you can't. So
NORAD to the Golden Gate Bridge, 40-minute foot travel doesn't make sense.
Right. I spent a lot of time taking pictures. I think this one had a lot more opportunities for image taking. It's more picturesque, I think. I don't know if it's because, I don't know why it just feels different. It's more beautiful, I think.
They
But yeah,
really
it's a
took
much
advantage of the
larger
5.
lap.
Like
Yeah.
you said you didn't have the 5 version before? Like, is playing the 4 version
No.
of the
Oh
5 or
yeah.
this one is the
So
5?
to kind of go back on that, so when I was getting ready to play Forbidden West, I actually paid the $10 upgrade for the remaster version. And I heard people complaining that there was a little bit of a lag, and I don't know if I ever noticed it. Might be my old eyeballs, but yeah, I mean, I loved having that option.
No one's
Going with
eyeballs can
the
see
upgrade.
240 frames per second, but you're right
Right.
about that.
There goes Dan. There
Yeah,
goes
don't.
Dan.
Now you're gonna get me started. Like Ray's getting all riled up. This isn't what we're here
Right.
for. No, it's funny. I can jokingly say here now, because did you finish the game at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God, because I don't think the photo of the week contest could handle you submitting any more.
That's right. I think I got my record number of wins off of that quest was from pictures from Horizon.
And I won one for the season also, because Ray's like, no, this is the best picture I've ever seen from a video game. and the thing is, like, no, it is, you're right, because the other thing too about it, like, they're taking advantage of color. And I think both games, they had a lot more blues. There's more of a blue hue to it than like a brown and a gray and a green and the drabness, which you could expect from a post-apocalyptic world. But like right off the bat, they're showing you every color in the spectrum, and the photo mode, like you saw it with Spider-Man 2, which I know we talked about 60 episodes ago now, but like Sony does something with the photo modes, because even when you're not, I will point out, even when it's not you submitting Horizon shots, which again, where every one of them is dynamite, like the photo mode games from PlayStation are coming out at a different level. I'm not trying to start something with the Xbox people, even though PlayStation 5 is an Xbox, as we now know. I'm not trying to start that fight with anybody, but the photo modes on these games, like, you can pause it. It increases the rendering and resolution and everything to make the pictures crisper, cleaner, give them more depth. And I didn't realize how well Horizon captured for being like one of the earlier games on the 5 for that. But
Yeah,
thank
for
you for
sure.
being done that game, because we could not handle the simultaneous, like, we can't let legodad win this again, and we can't have Horizon win this again, along with, like, it is the best picture that there is for this week. I don't know what we're gonna do. It was really unpleasant every week in our chat for for determining winners.
Yeah, I've probably got a good dozen or so more that I could submit, but I mean, at some point you got to move on, right?
Please don't. I truly, as beautiful, you may submit them away all you want in individual, but don't submit them for the week. We can't emotionally take it anymore. They're too good. Now, you touched on travel earlier, and I had to stop you because I figured we take a minute here and chat travel. I mean, you get the Breath of the Wild ripped off glider mechanics here, but fast travels. You want to talk about some fast travel differences?
Yeah, so fast travel, I think, if I'm not mistaken, so the first game, you have the option to fast travel, but you have to have the resources to build fast travel packs. And once you run out of them, that's it. That's all you got, and you have to go get more resources. And so, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing in the game, I have to be mindful of not using them too often in the first one. This one, it seemed like they had them more available to you in terms of unlocking once you got to certain locations, those locations became fast travel. So to go, I might be on a mission and I need to go from the Bay of San Francisco, like I mentioned, back up to the mountains where the main, I don't know, the main unit is.
Home
And
bases,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, the home base. And so being able to travel back and forth, lickety split, such a better experience in just so for me, I don't like too many games where I have to ride horses. So Red Dead Redemption fans are gonna probably be angry
Just
about this, but
skip ahead 5 minutes, guys.
yeah. So I don't like riding horses, with an asterisk, and I'll explain later. I like traveling by foot more. So even if it takes longer, I'm just going to do it by foot. I just can't I personally cannot control a horse or that mode of transportation. So the robot dinosaurs or the robot horses, riding those around the horizon, I did not do any of those. I just couldn't do what they wanted me to do. So
Zero Dawn, you needed to because of those fast travel packs that like.
right.
I had 50 of them, but I didn't want to use any of them because I don't know when I'm going to need them. I think there was one time I needed like an emergency fast travel so I didn't die. Like, otherwise I would have just cornered myself into a game over. Like, why I need to keep all 50 of them because there's times where like, oh, if you want to fast travel to this place, you need 2 of them. And if you want to fast travel here, you need 12 of them, or what, you know, like whatever the economics of the fast travel was. And I appreciate because like, okay, it's both more realistic to say like, okay, well, you need to have supplies if you're going to do 3 days worth of travel. Like I get it, but oh man, it was one of those mechanics that didn't quite not become frustrating.
Yeah, and in Zero Dawn, I remember I timed myself because it was going to be a long journey, and so I looked at the clock and at the start and the end, and it was probably close to 50 minutes just walking. And it was constant sprinting on Aloy's part, but I'm not going to ride a horse. I just can't control them very well. So,
how'd you feel with the control changes overall? Because they changed the mechanics of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You get some of the grapplers and some of the new casting functions that you're using a lot more of the controller than you did for the first game, and that can be taxing on some people.
Yeah, I mean, my fingers only move as fast as they can move, so I'm getting older and I'm not quick with the joysticks or the buttons, and so I think my experience from the first to the second was night and day. I mean, I just think that they improved everything from the first game to the second game, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like the improvements are so much to where it felt like a different experience altogether in a bad way. I think it was a smooth transition for everything that they did graphically and with the mechanics of the game to where, I don't know, it was a smooth experience on both sides.
I think they also gave you I was going to ask about some of the new creatures, and I think the combat really changed for the better. It really made the stealth combat more reward. I don't know, there was something different. Like I was always, listen, you give me a game where I'm a stealth archer, and Horizon Zero Dawn, I was a stealth archer. But there was something about this one with some of the new creatures, like the weasels and things like that, where they really gave you benefits for stealth because of the way that they would just call stuff crawling out of the ground to come wreck you if you did not take them out properly. It was It was a little more innovative. How did you feel about the creatures overall? I mean, like this game opens up and you're going after like a giant basilisk right off.
Oh yeah, way different. I mean, it was probably more. I guess if you kind of pick and choose, it was horses and dinosaurs the first game, right? And this one, they introduced a lot more types of creatures and giant insects, and I thought that the battle mode with each of those, you know, kind of at the boss level, was really great. There was like a giant spider type of character in this big facility that was pretty hard. But once you figure out their method and what they're doing and what you need to do, it wasn't too terrible. But yeah, I liked the variety and the change up from the first to the second.
So they pulled the plug on the live service version of Horizon. They did do the VR. I don't know if you did the VR, but like, what do you want to see from them next in this IP that I assume like they're going to release suddenly shadow drop it with Grand Theft Auto 6 just so it gets railroaded by something again. But I don't know what what the big maybe they'll release it the same day as the Switch 2. I don't know what their plan is, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty terrible at trying to come up with a wish list of things that I think that they should do better because I'm not the ones that designs the game.
If it was, then I'd be there doing it for them.
Right, exactly.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think as long as it's enough of a change with keeping it familiar, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. I'm not too picky.
All right, let's go to the main skyshark game here. Let's stop messing around. We're talking about Fortnite. It's Fortnite time here. Skyshark, tell us about Fortnite. Why is Fortnite just the greatest game ever?
Ray, I try to drop a note for you in here. It's not actually Fortnite. It's actually what the kids today call Oregon Trail. It was about traveling over Fortnite. So all of your notes and your prep is wrong.
It's all wrong. It's actually
your notes are all shot again. I'm sorry.
in one of the tournaments, I think it was back in like chapter 4 or something, I was trying to team with legodad. I know griefing because we're not on the same team, but like, I saw this random default, so I started to pickaxe them, and it ended up I was hitting him.
Yeah, so we paired up together in Fortnite, and I hate Fortnite. I think it's the dumbest game in the world. But we jump out of the bus, and he says, "Dad, you need to go over here. Come over to this area." And he points on the map. And I said, "Okay." So I'm going. I fly down. He's already down on the ground, and wherever we're going to land, I finally catch up to him. As soon as I land, he starts hitting me with an axe and kills me immediately. And I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, that was you?" And I was like, "Yes, that was me. Now I'm out of the game. What are you doing? This is the dumbest game in the world."
Did that happen on a Wednesday? Or was
Yes.
that a party night? Because I remember
It was
this.
a party night.
I remember this happening.
Yes.
It's a historic moment.
My friend, he's not on Channel 3, but I sometimes play Fortnite with him, and like a few months ago, he would play on like a PC that was basically a laptop, so it was really slow. And one match that I played with him, he was using the PC, and I got knocked before he even jumped out of the battle bus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Where are you playing Fortnite? On a console?
On my Xbox.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the Xbox. So yeah. Those load times.
Is that
those
what they
load
call
times
the
are cool.
PS5? You guys just call the PS5 and Xbox now, or I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the load times
advertising
are
campaign
crazy.
ever. I'm sorry.
The load times are crazy on that. So tell me, why do you play Fortnite so much? Why do you love Fortnite? Why is it so fun?
I'm not playing it as much, but probably because of the rage.
Because of the what?
Rage.
The rage?
Yeah.
Do you live off the rage, or are you trying to cut back from the rage?
I'm trying to cut back.
What causes the most rage when you're playing Fortnite?
Losing for the 20th time.
Yeah, that'll do it. So
Or getting second.
What's worse, getting 54th place or getting second place?
Second.
Why is getting second worse?
Because at that point you're getting cocky, and then once you push the last person, they kill you.
And all that time.
That just makes you want to throw your controller across the room.
Has a controller ever been tossed while playing?
No.
Good for you. Have you played the current season?
Chapter 6 or
yeah, chapter 6. You tell me what mode are you enjoying playing the most right now? We have so many.
I don't really play OG, but I don't really like Chapter 6.
Why not?
It's just I like the Oni masks, but they're just so overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the bosses are really easy, but then once someone destroys the boss, then they have like a 90% chance of winning. And also Godzilla.
Did you ever become Godzilla?
No.
Did you ever get destroyed by Godzilla?
Well, I was fighting Godzilla, but someone else killed me.
Gotcha. Yep. All the time. So have you, and you say you don't play OG, have you played Reload at all? Have you found that to be fun?
I played a few matches of OG. I mean, Reload.
Mm-hmm. So what was your favorite season? What chapter? What did you really enjoy? When were you really enjoying Fortnite?
Probably Chapter 4. I loved it in Chapter 4.
Was that with the Citadel? Is that when we had
I just know that's
the
when
castle?
it was. I know that's when the dirt bikes and motorcycles were introduced.
Gotcha. And were you big dirt bike? A lot of flips. And so, build mode or zero build mode? Which do you prefer to
Build mode.
play? Build mode. Do you why build mode?
Because if someone's shooting at you and you're really low health, there might not be a rock or a tree nearby. So I would need to build to heal.
Spoken like a true Fortnite player right there. I love it.
But I guess it doesn't really matter because I die anyways.
We
So
we,
you
we
don't.
all
That's
we,
the important thing.
we all
You're not
die.
gonna-
we all die.
All right, well let's move to Lego Dad's final game here. The third game, as ref, I assume this is where the horse conversation is coming back in as we go to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. I've heard about this game for a while and decided to pull the trigger mainly because I saw Joel posting a bunch of pictures on it, and I said, "Oh boy, this is going to be another picture of the week submissions for me." And I will say I'm probably about halfway through the game. I don't play it as often, and I'll explain why in a moment. But this, I spend probably more time taking pictures. I just find amazing spots through this island that you can just be unbothered and you can stand there and take as many pictures as you want. So I'm doing a lot of posing and it's ridiculous, but I love it. But with the horse comment, riding horses, this mechanics of this game is, to me, it feels different. And I think probably because there's not a lot of action happening when you are riding horses. It's more of just a mode of transportation, one and the other. Whereas like in Horizon, it felt like you still needed to battle enemies on your horses. And this one is not. It's more of just kind of getting you destination 1 to destination 2. And so there are some dialogue that's happening while you're riding the horses, but it's not super important dialogue. So I'm actually playing this game in Japanese with English subtitles. And so I'm taking my time. I'm kind of going a different approach this year. Last year, I wanted to just finish a dozen games. I finished 13. This year, I'm just slowing down and trying to enjoy more of the open world RPG style gaming. And so I'm just taking my time with this. And so I'm spending time taking pictures and enjoying the ride that Ghost of Tsushima has to offer.
Again, a game we're going to talk about where they've just let the colors fly, the reds and the pinks and the. I mean, even when you have the blood in the battles too, but the flora and just the environments that you're dealing with alone, they're just demanding that you stop and take pictures. So makes complete sense.
Yeah, and the story is pretty simple. I think that he is trying to rescue his uncle and he's fighting off the Mongols. So it's not super in depth, but there's enough dialogue and the story is interesting. But they also give you the good chunks of the story when they need to give it to you, where you're not really bothered by trying to escape enemies. And so you can just ride around and have chit chat with whoever you're riding with, or it might be solo, and then you can get off your horse for the more in-depth story dialogue to kind of keep that storyline going. And then the battles are just super fun. I'm loving the battle time.
How's the subtitle thing going for you? Like, are you finding yourself distracted with that? Or are you picking anything up from an audio perspective? I mean, I'm very curious.
Yeah, it's I don't know why I decided to go this route of having it in Japanese with English subtitles, but kind of what I mentioned.
Because it's the correct way.
Because
it's the correct way. That's why.
Yeah, and so our family is heavy into watching subtitles on anything that we watch. And so our daughter taught us that when she was probably like 6. She started watching shows on the computer and there was just too much going on in the kitchen, and so she would always have subtitles on. And so now we're so used to subtitles, we can't watch stuff without subtitles. It's very frustrating. So I knew I was going to have subtitles on, but I wanted to have, because of the style of the game and it being a Japanese story, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a true honest whirl, and I'm going to have it in Japanese, and I'm going to watch this like a movie, and I'm going to participate in this. And you really have to slow down. That's why it's taken me a lot longer to get through this game. I think I'm 9 or 10 hours. Maybe it's a 25-hour game. I can't remember. But it's a slow process. But Shogun, I mean, it's all in
Great,
Japanese. A lot of
great
it's in
example.
Japanese. Yeah. And so I think because I've watched that show, it kind of probably pushed me up, so to want to go this route with the game, and I'm loving it. And there was probably 6 or 7 hours into the game, I switched it back to English language with subtitles, and it felt weird, and I switched it right back. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
All right, well, let's move on to the honorable mentions. We're going to come back to Sky Shark here with honorable mention number 1 going to Batman Arkham City. We spent a lot of time on the comic book games with your dad 60 episodes ago, and now you're coming to the Batman times.
I am a huge Arkham fan. I think those are the best superhero games to play. I've never played Arkham Origins.
I can't wait till that's the gift. You're okay. You're not missing anything with Origins. You're fine.
It takes place before Asylum, so
yeah, it does. It's actually not terrible. Just in case you ever find yourself playing it, it's not terrible.
I heard it's extremely underrated.
It is. I will say it's underrated. I agree with that. The final boss fight is the most frustrating thing you'll do. Just to warn you now.
I got the Return to Arkham trilogy. I actually originally played it on his PlayStation, and then I have an Xbox, so I was like, oh, I should probably get the Return to Arkham. And I was debating whether to put Arkham Knight or a City on my list, and I chose Arkham City because it's just better.
All right, now I have to ask a question. How did you get into this to begin with? Because this is a game where my son has torn through the 2.5 Spider-Man games just repeatedly. I keep trying to tell him, like, buddy, you gotta play this. Like, how did you say, let me go back to these ancient 2009 games again, and let me go get these Arkham games from all of may as well be last century now at this point, the way you said 09 before. But what made you dive into it?
Why did I get it?
Yeah, why did you pick up this old Batman game?
Just because I love Batman, and I was like, oh, this is a really fun game. This looks like really fun.
See, legodad should have tricked you. He should have snuck in some really. There were a lot of bad Batman games through the years. He should have just left those out for you, so you could do what we did and have to suffer through Batman on the NES and work your way up to saying wait, this is a good Batman game? Wait, let me pay attention then. Hang on. So what's your favorite part of? So I mean, you picked City over Night. Why did you pick that? It's the correct answer. Let me be clear. You already picked the correct answer. You're not wrong.
It's just the story is so much better, and just it takes place at Christmas time, and for some reason Calendar Man is in it, and one of the achievements / trophies I heard is if you talk to Calendar Man on every major holiday of the year, then you get an achievement or a trophy.
That would be correct, yes. And I think there's even a leap day something for him too. Like if you roll your calendar back to February 29th of 2024, I think it does something particular that day. But Calendar Man is always up to something based on the date.
I also think it's really cool how if you talk to him as Batman, he says, I'm here. I was here since your beginning, Batman, and I will be there for your end. And I heard that once you hit 100% in Arkham Knight, it's a blink and you miss thing. But you could see a glimpse of Calendar Man's head during the cutscene of Wayne Manor getting demolished.
Oh, I did not know that. I just knew he's gone later eventually. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that. I learned something today. All right. Did your dad participate? This was one of his honorable mentions 60 episodes ago. So this was enough for him to talk about. It's only fair for it to come full circle here. Was he
That's right.
involved in the play coaching at all, or did you just kind of go do your own thing?
I just kind of did my own thing. I'm thinking of 100%ing Asylum City at night.
Oh God, I don't know if you could do night, man. I could do city. The Riddler trophies are out of control when you get to Arkham Knight. I don't know what it is. Like they're too far gone for me at that point.
I don't understand why they added a couple of them.
Just to
Like,
make us suffer.
I heard it's like one of the most time-consuming things in gaming history.
Yeah, they're rough in night. You can do it in city. I have faith in you to make it happen in city.
I did it in Asylum. I just finished it tonight.
Oh wow, good timing.
I can't do it. I can't.
Asylum is very achievable. Aside from did you 100% like you did the? Did they have the super hard mode in that one or no?
The all like easy, normal, and hard.
Okay. I can't remember. There's one like there's a mode if you play Origins, don't ever try it. There's like a permadeath mode that if you die, game over. You don't get to go back to your last save
point. You have
point.
to restart it.
Yeah, the game starts over.
Oh my gosh!
And I think they have that at night also, possibly, but don't do that to yourself. No platinum trophy or whatever the achievement is in Xbox is worth it for that. Don't make yourself suffer.
Today in night this morning I slightly played a little bit of it. But I changed the Batman suit to the 1989 Batsuit, which is really cool in that game.
You got to my last question because in honor of Ray, I have to ask you: is that your go-to skin then? Ray has a firm anti-base skin stance, so I have to ask on it.
You have to.
I think the plain, like, original Arkham skins are just boring. Like, you need to get a design. For Arkham City, my latest playthrough, I did the Batman Beyond outfit.
Good choice.
That I got to work those back into the targets again, but you'll notice in the Arkham City targets, that's what I'm rocking the Batman Beyond costume there, and the animated series was my go-to, I think, in City. So good picks. All right, well, Lego Dad, we're coming back to you, and we're gonna talk a game that has come out a year ago. We just hit its anniversary, I think. We're in the anniversary month.
It's a small game.
Little game called Balatro that the wave has yet to crest on this thing. It's only continuing to pick up speed.
Balatro, what a game! It is.
How did you wander into it? First of all, though, let me ask
from the crew, obviously. It was one that people were raving about, and I kept seeing posts by Laugh at Brian, as always, saying how great this game was, and he's the indie game king, I think.
Yeah, that big indie in his pocket, big indie shill right there. Yeah.
yeah, no kidding. So I kept hearing about how great this game was, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I finally gave it a try, and I was hooked pretty quick. I mean, he's not kidding. That game is awesome. But I will also say how quickly I realized how terrible I am at this game. I thought when I started playing it that I was pretty good. I was kind of figuring it out. And then we had a stupid weekly quest come out this week that I cannot get. I mean, I can get a score and post it for the XP, but it's an embarrassingly low score because, I mean, there's people that are posting the hundreds of millions of points, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm getting better. I'm taking my time trying to figure it out, and I know I just got to understand the game, but it's still as terrible as I am in comparison to the others in the crew. This game is just super fantastic. It's fun seeing the way that the jokers work in your favor. The celestial planet cards can work in your favor, and how quickly a high hand will go against you really quickly. So it's a fun game. So if you are thinking about checking it out, check it out. It's worth it. It's a great card game.
So first of all, I apologize for the next 10 weeks because Balatro is not going anywhere. I've got the next 10 weeks already programmed in.
I love it. No,
There,
I'm all
there,
for
there
it.
are going to be weeks of like it's not always going to be dollars. It's going to be like most
Yeah.
discards or most destroyed card. Like there's going to be a whole mix of things that are going to be.
Yeah.
I mixed it up in there, but I apologize in advance now because it's not going anywhere. It's
Yeah. I love
let
it.
it run.
I've got it on my phone so I can play it at work when I've got break. I've got it at home on the
That-
Switch and the PlayStation. I'm pro Balatro.
I was
all the
about
way.
to say I was about to ask you that question. You did the dumb thing. You put it on your phone. Oh God.
I know it's no good, but
Don't
it's
do
there
this.
for an
Do not do
emergency.
this, people. Don't put
It's
that
for
evil.
emergencies.
Don't put that evil on your phone.
It's my ration.
Yeah, it's funny because I think it was LL Cool Games made a post. And it's like the order of operations is the most important thing in that game, of like understanding left to right and understanding doing your additions before your multiplications and which multiplications in order to get the most exponential benefits. I'm like, dude, this is a great math lesson. I was telling my son that he's like, when are you gonna need to use math? I said, buddy, listen, this game here alone will prove to you that you need the order of operations to pay attention.
Absolutely.
I remember the first time I learned, like, no, you got to reorder your cards and you've got to reorder your jokers before there will be. I'll play 5 hands in a row, and I will have to reorder my cards and jokers, every single one of them, to try and maximize whatever my points are going to be. And like when you figure that out, like the game becomes a whole other level for you. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, side note, Nanner only plays on his mobile and he's killing it. So I don't think that the mobile world of Balatro is down the tubes because he knows what's up. So
Yeah, he also lives in a refrigerator box in an alley in downtown in downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota now, and he doesn't even know how he ended up in that town. He's never been to South Dakota before today. What's the Joker that you see that you're like, this is going to be my run now? I get this Joker.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I was playing some the other day and I thought that I liked those Jokers and I don't remember what they were. And then today I found some new Jokers and I don't remember what they were either, but I'm terrible at remembering that sort of stuff. But the ones I had today was giving me a killer run. So I'm hoping that it'll keep me going. So
give me that Psycho Joker early that starts killing your other Jokers, but you get a half a multiplier every time. Yeah, give it to me.
The one I hate most is when I'm going to play a run and I accidentally so like a flush, I'm trying to play 5 cards and I only select 4 of them on accident and I hit play and then I completely ruin what I'm trying to do because I spent a few runs building up to that and then I completely blow it. So yeah, I just need to pay attention to my buttons a little bit better, but yeah, so I'm figuring it out, but it's a great game.
All right, let's see. We got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for skyshark. Skyshark, are you playing this one with the book club?
No, I did not know it was in the book club.
So this is one. Are you playing it on your own? Have you already played it? Where are you with this?
This was probably my second playthrough. First on my Xbox though. I've started so many files, like it's unbelievably crazy. I did the same thing with Breath of the Wild, and I still never beat that game. But anyways, it's really fun. It's the only sad part, I forget what his name is, but when Cal's friend dies.
And just early, it's a gut punch early in that game.
It's not as sad as it would be later in the game because we've only known him for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sad.
So, if the sad thing is early, why do you have so many restarts? Why so many save files? What
I
causes
honestly
it?
don't know. I don't know why I kept on restarting it over and over again.
And were these restarts, are they close together, or do you like start it and then you just stop playing and you figure I might as well just start over? Because I don't
They're
remember.
like close together. Like there was like the first time I started it, I had stopped playing it for like a few weeks or something, and then I restarted it, and it's just a bunch of times. I did really like the beginning. Probably that's why, but I don't know.
It's such a good opening. You answered the question right there. That's why. The music, the visual, it's such a good opening level.
So wait, have you finished it, or are you still?
Yes.
Okay, you have finished.
I finished it.
Are you a Star Wars fan, or did this game just happen?
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I built a plastic lightsaber at Disneyland.
Nice. Okay, so great. This leads to my next question. What lightsaber color are we going with?
Orange.
Orange in the game, or your real life lightsaber, or
In
both?
the game.
In the game. What about your actual one that you built?
Green. It's down here, actually.
So why orange in the game?
It just fits Cal, honestly.
And so I'm not a big Star Wars person. I just never did. When I was a kid, I enjoyed the prequels. It was the first time I saw Star Wars. The lightsabers, they fight, and I'm like, this is awesome. They're great. That's Star Wars to me. Fun lightsaber battles, and all you old people can be upset with me, but like, that's Star Wars to me. I was a kid, and and they fought Darth Maul. I think it was Darth Maul for Halloween one year, and I had my double lightsaber. Like, this is amazing. But I always felt like the Star Wars games, like, I just never felt like I could be a Jedi in these games. It felt like it was always all the other stuff until the Force Awakens. That was like the first one I played. I was like, oh, I can actually use a lightsaber. So how does it feel using a lightsaber and fighting in this game?
It's pretty much just like any melee game.
So you don't feel like it doesn't feel like extra special, or feel like this is what lightsaber fighting would feel like?
It kind of does. I mean, I'm sure lightsaber fighting would hurt.
But if Cal just had a normal sword in his hand, do you feel like it'd just be the same game?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they did that for the new Star Wars show. I forget what it's called.
Dan would know.
Acolyte.
Skeleton
The
Crew?
Acolyte.
Oh, the Acolyte.
No, the Acolyte. They did. It's like baseball bats for lightsabers.
Oh man,
That's why it got such low rating on IMDb.
was it because of the baseball bats?
Probably.
I accept it. I accept that as a good reason. Dan, are you upset by that?
Don't get me started. No, that show wasted 3 episodes and made everybody upset, and the last 5 or 6 were great. And the internet's a terrible place and should be burned, except for Channel 3.
So what's your overall feelings on this game? Is someone like, do you really, really love this game? Did you play the sequel?
I played some of the sequel. I don't know why I didn't like it, but I'm gonna buy it because I'm really looking forward to the third Jedi game.
Do you have Game Pass?
No.
Because that just hit Game Pass actually. So instead, you may want to look at your options there.
I actually bought Jedi on digital for $5, and it was like on sale.
That's what I'm waiting for Survivor. I'm in the same boat of just like it's on the wish lists and all the places, and whichever one gives me the price that's worthwhile. Where I'm hoping it just comes because it was a PlayStation Plus at one point. I hope it just is PlayStation Plus again.
I think Game Pass is Xbox's PlayStation Plus.
How dare you? How the Game Pass was here first. What?
Really?
Yeah,
sure.
It was. PlayStation Plus has been trying to rip off Game Pass since its inception. Basically, when they went to these tiers, they've been trying to go after Game Pass with these Plus Essential, whatever, all the 3 elevated tiers. They're trying to get there. Except they also know their pricing's jacked up because Xbox is just pouring money into a compactor and destroying it. PlayStation's like, this isn't economically viable. We
Doesn't
can't go
game
full Xbox.
Listen,
Anyway.
Xbox, we've already lost the console. Please just let us have Game Pass.
All right,
Please
well,
just let us have Game
on the
Pass.
note of PlayStation Plus, let's go to legodad's game that is riding a cresting wave here with the Stanley Parable.
Boy.
A game that was a Half-Life 2 mod that I did not know that before tonight. 2011 was a Half-Life 2 mod. And here we are 10 years later after it released in 2013. Well, 12 years later now. Jesus. What time sucks?
Time sucks. Yeah.
Stanley Parable is riding a high right now.
Stanley Parable. I never played Half-Life, so I don't really know what you're talking about. But Stanley Parable for me, again, laugh at Brian. This is another one of his, and so it was a free game for the month, and I didn't originally grab it, and so once he said I should grab it, I went and grabbed it. And
wait, hang on. No, the conversation stops here. Wait, you don't just grab your free PlayStation Plus games every month? It's just like...
No, not every time. No. Need for Speed, I think, is one of the new ones, and I didn't grab it because I don't like driving cars. So I'm never going to play the game. So I don't grab every single game every single time.
Take a look at your 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe he will someday. I don't know. There are games every month I just go on. I don't even go into the PlayStation. I get the notification on my app. I just hit a button. They're there.
I know the routine. I just don't. Yeah, I don't grab every single one.
That's real psycho behavior there.
I don't grab all the Prime games now. All the Prime gaming games. I don't grab them all either.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But but I grabbed this one in time, so please forgive me. But yeah, so this one's an interesting one.
I'm shook.
And I think I think somebody had posted on I think Brian's post a couple days ago or last week, and it is in fact Stanley Parable is being played in season 3 of House of Cards by Kevin Spacey's character. Just real briefly, it shows him playing on his laptop. So that was kind of a fun little nugget. But yeah, Stanley Parable, you can't really say too much if you haven't played the game. Just go play it because it's interesting. It's very simple visually. There's not much to the game, but there's also a lot to the game. It's not really a game, but it is a game, I think some people have said. So yeah, it's one I don't want to give a lot of details out, because if you haven't played it yet, you should just play it without knowing anything about it, because that's the best experience for this game.
Yeah, I will say there is a great deal of literature, both philosophically and from a game design perspective. This game has inspired a lot of writing. It's also inspired some ethical conversations as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, in the interest of telling people just to go play this thing, I will just ask you, how disobedient have you gotten at different points in this game?
Oh, I go back and forth. I get a real kick about how irritated and annoyed the narrator gets, depending on what decisions I'm following or not following.
Yeah, just watch Joel's gaming fail of this week. I think maybe it was. Okay. I don't remember, it's clip of the week or gaming fail of the week. If anybody wants a taste of what's happening in the game, just go watch Joel's clip of the Stanley Parable. That'll give you a taste of what you're in for here.
My 14-year-old daughter, I told her about it, and she likes these weird, quirky type of games. And she's not a heavy gamer, but she does gravitate towards just the interesting, strange things of the gaming world. And so I told her to play it, and she started playing it. And like, she's put in way more time than I have on it. And she is purposely going out of her way to do the opposite of what she's being asked of, just to see what happens. And she's loving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She keeps asking me, Dad, can I play Stanley? Can I play Stanley?
Yeah, there are at least a dozen different endings to the last. I don't know how many endings are in it.
Well, the deluxe version, which is the one that's available on PlayStation Plus. So I think there's like 40, a little over 40 different possible endings. Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Yeah, the first one had 6. They went up to like 10 or 12 for the update they did before that. And then the ultra deluxe edition, which is what, like you said, is out now. or it was on PlayStation Plus for another like 12 hours, which will be long gone by the time anybody hears this, which is why you just always pick up those games, people. You always pick up those games. But like they said the script for just the stuff they added to the Ultra Deluxe alone was more than the original script for that they had written for the game. So yeah, there's a lot more here.
Yeah, it's excellent. Thumbs up. Love the game.
Skyshark, you broke away from the Xbox for your final honorable mention. You dove in and you wanted to bring up Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
That one, I thought I had done an Uncharted game. I wasn't completely sure because I had completely forgotten. But Uncharted 4 is the best Uncharted game, especially because of the scene where you play Crash Bandicoot on a PlayStation.
There's no more to be said about it than that. It is literally you are controlling the character, playing the game on PlayStation on TV. Yes, that was enough. You sold it. That you just wanted to bring it up for that.
Yeah, that I think that was the only reason why I put it in there.
I don't see Master Chief playing Crash Bandicoot on Halo. That's all I'm saying,
That's
Xbox.
True.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's true.
Your
right.
move, Xbox. Your move. Is that literally you just want to shout that scene out? And I'm here for it if that's the case.
Yeah.
Carry on
That
then,
was
Ray.
the only scene I was thinking of.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. That is the best. That's
so
the best
good.
honorable mention we've had.
So let's go. Game for the future now. And Skysong, you talked about it already, but you want that third Jedi game. So
Yes, I do.
What do you want to happen in the third Jedi game? What do you want out of it? What's gonna make it so special and different than the first two?
I could only really say what I want different from the first one because I didn't really play the second one.
Okay.
But out of the little bit that I've seen, that I've played, I want Cal's face to be shaved. I don't think a beard looked good on him. I mean, I know it was optional in the second game, but it still kind of sucked.
So that's all you need. You just need Cal to shave, and you're gonna be like whatever the game does, you're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's so.
Cameron Monaghan,
And
step
I
up your
want him to
beard
have a
game, bro.
cloak. I want him to have a cloak.
You want to have a cloak? That's great. That's I've never heard better reasons for wanting a game to come out. That's actually amazing. Well, I'll take it. Lego, you've got a completely different game for your future one. You want Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing this is like you just want that kind of open world, picturesque game with turtles or a turtle.
Yeah. I mean, I love turtles. Ninja Turtles are the best.
I understood that reference.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't really know much about the Last Ronin story. My oldest has the book.
You didn't know, or at least you say you don't really know much about the game. I can tell you because I was looking into it that they wanted to have a God of War like feel to it, at least the way the game plays.
Right.
Does that make you
that's what I know about it. As far as the storyline, who's who, what's going to happen, I don't know anything about that, and I also want to not know anything about it. I want to go into this game with no expectations, no understanding, other than once I heard that it was a God of War style, I'm on board 100%. I mean, I love God of War 1 through 3. And then the new iteration, 2018, and then the one that came out, Ragnarok. I mean, those are incredible games for different reasons. And so if they go in that direction of the newer God of War style, I'm going to love it. I know I will.
Yeah, I think they look like they're doing everything the right way. And this is going to be a hit.
Right.
It feels that way.
So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. Whenever it happens, if it happens, who knows? Fingers crossed.
Just enjoy the gut punches. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on to questions from the Channel 3 history books. I've picked 2 different questions, one for each of you, here to discuss Skyshark, you will go first. I will ask you, what do you think's a great first game for kids? Like you're more of a kid than we've had on before, so I'm going to ask you, like, what's a good game for a kid who's like, people are always asking, like, oh, I want to get my kids started with video games. They're 3, they're 4, they're 5, something like that. I want to get them into gaming.
I would say any of the Mario games. That I wouldn't say Mario Bros. 1. I'd say that's for like at least 8, because I don't think 5-year-olds would be like understanding just 8-bit. I feel like they would need more like 3D to move around and stuff.
Oh, that answer was better than I expected. That there were just shots being taken at the end.
Let me tell you something. He's not wrong. As someone experiencing it right now at this moment, he is not wrong.
I did force my kids to play Mario 1 first, but I was also shocked at how quickly they picked up. Like Disney Infinity was big in their early gaming, and Lego Marvel Superheroes when I was like preaching the mountaintops for kids early.
Yeah.
And my God, I could not believe they picked up the 3D that quickly. That was shocking to me. Good answer. Good answer. All right, Lego Dad. We're going to ask a more topical question for you. One of our quests this week was asking, what's the max price you would pay for the Switch 2, assuming you want to buy the Switch 2?
Yep. I like that question. I'm gonna prepare 500 for myself, just assuming that I'm probably gonna have to buy a few extra bells and whistles to go along with it. But I'm crossing my fingers at the $400 price range, but I'm okay with 450. But I'm prepared for 500.
Yeah, I'm real curious because the thing is, I've been in that 450, figuring it's in that range also, but I'm also like, you can't tell me this is going to be in PS4, Xbox range for price either. It's I'm kind of curious how it's going to play out in the end. I wonder if they're going to come in, like Nintendo won't sell something that they're not going to make. They won't sell something at a loss.
Right.
Like, the PlayStation and Xbox have both been selling consoles at a loss since Xbox was created. And I don't know. I'll be curious to see it.
The OLED was 350, right? Yeah. So I'm guessing if the internals are what we hope they are, 450 seems reasonable. I don't know if that puts it into the PS4 realm, but that's just kind of my guess. That's what I'm preparing for.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm there with you. I'm in the same place. And last question we ask. Lego Dad, I'll ask you first. What's been your favorite feature on Channel 3?
Oh my gosh. So kind of in a big ball of goo, I'm not very great at video games in general. But one of my favorite things that I've really been enjoying lately is the time trials. My gosh, that's a mess. And I need you to knock it off, Ray. Give it a break a little bit. Quit saying you're half asleep and you're destroying everybody on whatever it is on NES World Championship.
That's when I do my best work. I
know that's right.
When I just completely zone out.
Yeah. I mean the time trials, it's super fun. I think it's an interesting, fun way to keep engaged in these games that probably would be put off to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it when it came out and I love it for what it is. But if it wasn't for time trials within this community, I probably wouldn't even be playing it.
100%.
So it's super fun. All the different time trials. I think we've done Astrobot. We've done, all sorts of different stuff. I love the time trialing.
Hey, well, I hope you can participate in this week starting tomorrow, because guess what? You had to have picked it up for PlayStation Plus when it was free before.
Which one, Dan?
The Hot Wheels Unleashed 2.
Nope.
Turbocharged.
Count me out.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I did.
Are we having a time trial for that?
That's this week, yes.
Oh, I picked it up on something.
It's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass now too.
Oh, I think I have it on Epic Games. They gave it away there too.
Yeah. Okay, then I can probably include that they gave it away on Epic. It's probably my Epic too.
I think that's where I have it.
Real psycho behavior. That's all I'm saying. You never know.
So
it's on my Steam Deck too. I can walk around with that one. Ooh.
All right. Lesson learned. Anything that's free on PlayStation Plus, grab it, because there may or may not be a time trial in the near future.
That's all Dan. I don't do those.
I'm trying to include those things for that reason of Just like what's
Yeah.
been. Oh god, that's real. Say
all Dan.
Sky
It's all
Shark,
Dan.
get him in line, okay? Get him in.
Yeah.
Skyshark, what's your favorite feature on Channel 3?
The like slide scroll for like the quests, like the what sounds better, Mortal Kombat with a C or the Mario Kart with a C, like that kind of thing. I really like that.
Oh, so you like the new quest
Yeah.
option we have and choosing the two things. Why do you like that so much? Why is that
I
the
don't know.
favorite feature?
It's just I don't know. It just appeals to me so much better.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's our first person to choose that. That's a new feature and the first one to talk about it. That's so cool. Awesome. All right, and with that, we've made it to the end of another Warrior 3. Thank you to legodad and Sky Shark for being with us. You can find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast, dropping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcast. I'm Ray. Dan puts this all together. Our theme song is by Caster Garden, and for our executive producer, Joel Willis. Have a good day, everybody.
And remember, everybody, get those free games.
Or Dan will yell at you.
It's not my fault. I tried, but hey, again, it's on Game Pass too.
Channel 3 is the future.